Hi there guys, it's Mr. Wessner, and we've been reading about atlatls, watching some videos about atlatls. So I want to show you the atlatl that I constructed. This is the atlatl, this is the dart. And I constructed this using one of the YouTube videos that I shared with you. I used that to design and make a pattern. So this is the atlatl itself, and then this is the dart. Now these are not exactly like the atlatls that would have been used by the archaic Indians. For one thing, their atlatls would have been made from a green tree branch, and they would have been much more flexible and probably a bit longer as well. So it's that flexing that really gives the atlatl distance. These are fairly rigid, so they're not quite as accurate, but it gives us a fairly good idea of what the atlatl could do and how it could help someone to throw a spear or a dart farther and faster than they could have without it. Now remember, this was created in response to the changes that took place as the Ice Age ended. We could no longer hunt mammoths. We could no longer hunt some of these large, slow Ice Age animals. That took one type of hunting skill. To hunt a smaller and faster animal, like a deer for example, would take a totally different type of hunting skill and hunting resources. So that's where the atlatl came from. Again, I've talked numerous times, history is all about cause and effect. So with the atlatl, or the Atlatl, depending on how you pronounce it, the archaic Indians were able to hunt different kinds of game, the type of game that was now living on the earth as of the end of the Ice Age. So I'll show you here how this works. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this dart and I'm going to throw it without the atlatl. This is what would have been like before using the atlatl. Then I'll measure the distance that this dart traveled. So let's take a look at that first. So there's one throw. We'll do one more just to be sure. Okay, so that's about my longest distance. We'll measure to the longest. This is a measuring wheel, surveyor's wheel. All right, so that dart, the furthest throw that I made there, went about 35 feet. So let's compare that to a throw with the atlatl and see what the difference may be. All right, so this time we'll try this out with the atlatl. Now, what we're going to do is take this spear or this dart, place it onto the end of the atlatl. Okay. I'm going to put a finger through here and my thumb over on the side. And when I place this on top of the atlatl, like so, what I will do is basically push that forward. It's going to be a casting motion, or almost like I'd throw a football. So I'm going to bring my arm up over my head and push that forward. Now I am shooting only for distance here. I'm not worried about accuracy. So the actual hunters of the archaic time period would have been trying to be accurate as well as trying to throw their atlatl a farther distance. So that's what we're kind of looking at here. And what's happening is you are making your arm longer. You're trading force for distance. You probably remember that from science class. Okay, so using the atlatl, I was able to throw that dart 80 feet, over twice the distance of my longest throw without the atlatl. So as you can see, this really increased the distance that those archaic hunters could hunt. And with smaller animals or more skittish animals like a deer, you can't get as close to a deer. As soon as it hears you, as soon as it sees you or smells you, it's going to be very nervous and run away. So this gave them a greater advantage in hunting because they were able to stay further away from the game they were trying to capture. So that's the Atlatl. Hope you enjoyed seeing that. I'd love for you to have a chance to try this out sometime. Maybe we can work that out for those of you that are my students watching this, and we'll see if we can make that happen. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time.